Guinea, a large island and group of small islands just north of Australia, is a collection of 20 separate provinces under one democratic national government. It has been independent politically from Australia for almost 25 years now. This rugged, diverse, exotic tropical island group is known around the world as the land where time stood still. Isolated from the rest of the world, hundreds of small agricultural communities evolved over the past 30,000 years. A wide range of climates, as well as geographic borders, some divided by mountain ranges as high as 12,000 feet, division by over 800 separate languages, helped create hundreds of separate tribal societies. 4.5 million people live here today in what they call the land of the unexpected. Here in the mountains and valleys of the Highlands of New Guinea, the weather is just ideal. It's a year-round perpetual springtime. Air New Guinea flights arrive daily in Port Moresby, the capital city of Papua New Guinea, from all over the South Pacific. Port Moresby is a modern city with government offices, businesses, hotels, restaurants, schools, a university, a new harbor marina. Infrastructure is well developed here. Connected with an excellent road system, Port Moresby is an example of what can and will be developed in other cities throughout this country. The eastern highlands of Papua New Guinea, one of 5 highland provinces in the mountainous center of this country, is not yet connected to Port Moresby, except by air. This is our destination.
The islands of the South Pacific were among the very last areas on the planet to be colonized by outside powers. In Papua New Guinea, there were people, very large concentrations of people in the highlands who had almost no contact with the outside world and didn't know that the outside world existed and the outside world didn't know they existed until 1932, when some Australian gold prospectors entered the central valleys of the highlands and discovered very large agricultural communities who, until they made that first contact, had not seen or used iron and had not seen or used wheels. 1932. Because of the very rugged geography of the country, it is extremely expensive and difficult to build roads. There are really no railroads, for example, to speak of in this country because the mountains are so incredibly rugged. The people depend for transportation within their country either on sea transport for the most part or on air transport. So here you go from folks who either are walking 3 days to their nearest government center from their village and then have to take an airplane to get to the capital city or to go outside the country because there really isn't any other practical way for them to move around.
At the end of coffee season, cities like Goroka are often overwhelmed with population migration from the rural areas. People walk barefoot for 2 to 3 days to seek help or sale of their produce or hope for some progress in their distant villages. The contrast between villages and the cities are striking. The cities offer an image of prosperity and progress that is currently non-existent in the mountains. Building their homes, planting gardens, and surviving almost entirely from the food their family grows, 85% of the people in these highlands live as subsistence farmers. Roads to the rural areas vary from poor to nearly impassable. Travel by truck, often unsafe, is usually uncomfortable on the rough roads. Pickups and larger trucks are packed with people and their produce heading for markets in the city each morning. These good-natured travelers have a remarkable kindness and smile when you witness their situation. From roads to hospitals and schools, you'll see in these brief, dramatic, all too common scenes what life for the majority of people in the countryside is really like.
We are not selecting the worst one for the camera scene, but this is typical of all classrooms you can see on the station.
The Department of Primary Industries, or DPI, as it's known in Goroka, is involved in teaching and training people with new technologies and developing new solutions to current problems.
My name is Ian Mopafi. I am the advisor for the Agriculture and Livestock Division of Eastern Highlands. I've been in this position for over 7 years. Papua New Guinea is a fairly new country that is trying to come to grips with developments in all areas. We've just come out from the Stone Age into the computer age, and we're trying to take on technologies and ideas that are very, very different, and they're very foreign.
Ian Mupafi, in charge of the DPI office in Goroka, is a team leader of a staff of 70 people. Deeply committed and resourceful, he invites outside influence, especially American technicians, teachers, doctors, and others to help with his country's problems. Here is one example of what drives him to desperately try to change things.
What a lot of our people travel from the rural areas, they come into this. You would have, on a good load, there would be about 30 people sitting on the back of their truck, coming to town to do their shopping and to sell their produce. Then 30 people on the truck swung to these trucks, the white trucks, lane to avoid some potholes. In the red truck, 4 people died, and the driver and the 3 other people that were there died instantly. The 3 were, apart from the driver, it was a mother with their 2 children who were on school holidays, and they all died. People had to cut the red truck open to remove the bodies of the 4 people that were jammed in there.
Ian Mupafi and other exemplary leaders dream of bringing the country's education level up to this in Goroka.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Goroka International School in the Eastern Highlands of Papua New Guinea. John's come here today to have a look around the school. We're in the library today at the moment, and I'll take you down to the preschool shortly and a few other classrooms. This school belongs to the International Education Agency of Papua New Guinea. It's one of 21 schools in the country. It's a non-profit making organisation that is totally self-funding. We don't get any funding support from the government, and we raise all our own income to pay for the teachers, to pay for the resources that you can see around the school. Renata, not only does she teach agriculture, she also teaches German language to our students here. Was doing French last year, but is also in charge of the home economics department, cooking, sewing, running a home, and aerobics as well. Multi-talented ladies.
Thank you. Yeah.
Happy house.